Hello, hello. Welcome in to another weekly Spirit Boost. I'm Tammy Mashtaberty, best-selling author of the books The Universe is Talking to You and The Higher Help Method. And I teach people how to tap into what I call the higher helpline of the universe. And why do we want to tap into the higher helpline of the universe? Because we want guidance, because we want answers, because we want assistance, we want reassurance, we want to create a life that we love waking up to every day. So I teach simple spiritual tools to do that, to create a relationship, an intimate relationship with the universe and your higher helpers. Higher helpers are angels, guides, loved ones who have passed on, goddesses, saints, doesn't matter, ascended masters. There are so many that we can call on, and I always say call on who resonates with you, but you can call on anyone. And I am excited to do a group oracle card reading for you guys. Many of you know I've been advertising forever that I was going to Massachusetts over the weekend to teach at Circles of Wisdom, which is a beautiful metaphysical center. Really, it's a crystal store. It has books and oracle card decks, and they teach classes. And if you follow them on Facebook, they do Facebook Lives where you can buy crystals. And I taught with John Holland, psychic medium John Holland, on Saturday for a full day workshop. And then Sunday, I did a half a day workshop on the higher help method, and I had so much fun. Everybody there was amazing. I learned things. They learned things. It was so amazing. It was so much fun. So thank you to all of you who were there. I met so many of you, and it was so much fun. And I signed your books, and I loved it. Thank you to John Holland for asking me to teach with him, and thank you to Circles of Wisdom for having me. So today I'm actually going to do an oracle card reading with John Holland's deck, the Psychic Tarot. Now, there is a brand new version of this in a pocket size form, which I love because pocket size means you can take it with you, right? It's this tiny little tin. I saw them when I was there. I don't have one yet, but I do have the original version. So I thought, as a thank you to John Holland, I would do an oracle card reading using his deck, the Psychic Tarot. And if you do want the actual pocket size version, that is actually linked below on YouTube and Facebook, but check it out on Amazon. Again, I love that, Hay House is doing some of these pocket size versions because it's kind of easier to take with you, right? If you want to take it different places, if you want to carry it with you, if you want to just check something really fast, and they just take up less space, and it's the same deck. It's the same thing. So we are going to do that. And I've actually already pulled the cards. I did it right before I went live. And so I do want to share with you. So every time I go to a different place, a different crystal store, a different town or state that has a crystal store, I have to bring something back with me. I have to purchase something. So I actually went to Circles of Wisdom the night before the event, which was I taught on Saturday and Sunday. So my husband and I went and checked out the store on Friday just to say hello, see where the heck we were going the next day. And of course I shopped. So I have to just show you the most beautiful angel that I found, who was staring at me from the bottom shelf. You all know I love amethyst. I'm an amethyst lover. I've always been drawn to amethyst. Amethyst is my first love of crystal. Okay. And it is such a universal crystal. You can use it for so many things. But I saw this beautiful amethyst angel that has a ton of clear quartz with her. And I had to purchase her. So I just had to show you how pretty she is. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? So she's amethyst. You can see the amethyst running through her, but there's so much of the clear. And I just thought she was so unique. And as soon as I saw her, I'm showing Instagram. As soon as I saw her, I said, she has to come home with me. So that was my purchase from there. Because again, I'm a crystal lover and I can't help it. But definitely check them out on Facebook because they do lives and then they'll ship things to you. And they just have beautiful things there and unique things there. And it was fantastic. So having said all that, what I decided to do today was I said, okay, let me ask. And whenever I do these oracle card readings, they are always for Whether you are live here with me right now, hello. If you're here and you're loving the content and you're excited about the video, please like the live. And if you're live here now, or if you just have found me on the replay, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, maybe 3 weeks from now, doesn't matter. If you are here and listening to this is for you. And here's what I decided to ask. Because sometimes I ask, like, what do I need to know to get unstuck? And what do I need? But I thought, you know what? Let's just ask the question of the universe. And I call in my angels and guides during this process for you. I said, let's just ask the universe, what does everybody... I just realized my microphone was to the left. Hopefully you're still hearing me. What does everybody on this live stream or watching this replay most need to know, understand, be aware of, or do to move forward toward manifesting what they desire or something better faster? So what do you not know that if you did would help you move forward toward manifesting what you desire or something even better? That's the question that I asked the universe. And I thought, okay, let's just see what comes through and what advice, because remember, the universe knows more than you, right? Thank you. Michelle said, beautiful angel. Hi, Michelle, on Instagram. The universe knows more than you, right? When I was teaching the higher help method, I asked everybody in class on Sunday, like, raise your hand if you think you know more than the universe, your angels and guides. Nobody raised their hand. They know more than you. So I teach you, tap into that wisdom, tap into that information. You can tap into that. We all have a direct line to the universe, to our higher helpers, etc. Okay. One of the tools we can use is oracle cards. And today we are using Psychic Tarot by John Holland. So I asked that question, right? What do we all need to know, understand, be aware of, or do to move forward toward creating the things that we desire or something better faster? What would speed up this process? What would make things flow more smoothly, right? That's the question at hand. That's the question for everybody here. All right. Here are the cards that I got for you. And I always do like a 2 card. So the first card that I got, don't worry, it looks scary, but it's not. The Temptation card. The Temptation card. You guys see that on Instagram. The Temptation card. Okay, what does this mean? This means, and I'm going to pull it up, but this means it's talking about like what is interrupting your flow. What is interrupting you from moving forward toward what you want or what you desire or something better than what you desire? Because we're always open to something better because the universe knows more than we do. Even what we want, the universe knows more than we do. So this card is talking about what's impeding you, what addictive habits, old habits, negative thinking. What are you doing that you should not be doing anymore? Because it's slowing it down. It's impeding that process, right? So let me read the card to you. So it says temptation. Through this card, addictions and self-limiting behaviors are being addressed. This is a time when you or someone else in your life may be placing too much emphasis on the material physical world and its pleasures. Even though we're all born connected to the divine source, we have a tendency, because of the physical world that we live in, we have a tendency to pull away from what was once natural. When we become disconnected from spirit, the source that once nourished us, it's often replaced with a different supply or substitute. In other words, the connection is then forged with food, alcohol, nicotine, codependency to someone, even work, even negative thinking, right? What were your habits that you need to look at that could be slowing everything down, blocking your efforts to move forward? Hence the term workaholic, right? Are you working too much? Many, and I've had issues with that in the past because I am a Virgo. Many of us spend our lives trying to fill the void that was created when the link to the divine was broken. The temptation card is calling you to take a hard look at life and yourself. Where in my life am I suffering from an addictive behavior? Is there negative thinking or behavior that's causing the life force to seep out of my soul? Where am I messing up my own alignment, right? Are the people and relationships in my life giving me energy or are they draining it? That's another big one, okay? Because if you are continuing in a relationship that is draining you and you're not changing it, limiting it, putting up boundaries, that's throwing you out of alignment as well, right? So only you can answer this question for yourself, but think about, what am I doing that I know is taking me out of alignment, is taking me out of flow? This needs to be addressed, because once it's addressed and once you realign yourself, things flow faster. Remember the question that I asked, right? Okay, let me go back. It says, learn to embrace your fears and all of your doubts so that every situation in your life becomes a learning experience. So in other words, don't like beat yourself up too. Like if you're sitting going, you're right, I'm screwing this whole thing up. You're learning what not to do. Sometimes we have to do things to realize we shouldn't be doing them, right? Sometimes we need that experience to go, that's not working. Now let me shift to what is working. So it says, gaining the knowledge that the physical world teaches will help you transcend to a higher spiritual awareness. So again, does this resonate? Is this making any sense to everybody? Because I think it is universal. And you don't have to be, taking drugs or abusing alcohol or necessarily abusing food in some way, although that all fits here. But what habits, what relationships, what am I knowingly engaging in, right? What am I knowingly engaging in or doing that I know is not in alignment? That I know is draining my energy, is draining my life force, is messing up my connection, right? Oh, hi, Sherry on Instagram. She says, perfect timing, perfect card. Thank you. You're welcome. So that is impeding us, right? If it's taking you out of flow, if it's a negative thing, if it's limiting you in any way, you're limiting yourself. So the universe is saying, if you want to manifest faster, you have to get back in alignment and you have to stop doing things that are pulling you out of that alignment. You have to stop engaging in things that are pulling you out of that alignment. Okay. That is the first card. The second card that we got for everybody, again, reminding you that we are asking the universe, what do we most need to know, understand, be aware of, or do to manifest what we desire or something better faster, to speed up this process, to make it flow easier? What can we do, not do, etc.? The second card that I got for you guys is the Rest and Rejuvenate card. Rest and Rejuvenate card. Showing Instagram, Rest and Rejuvenate card. Okay. What does the Rest and Rejuvenate card mean? I mean, it kind of means to rest and rejuvenate, but obviously let's look into the actual detail of what this is saying to us. And honestly, sometimes people think, well, aren't I supposed to be taking action? Aren't I supposed to be doing stuff? But do you know that if you've been following me for long enough, and you know that I talk about my higher help method, and I say that you need to let the universe take the lead, right? When I asked people on Sunday, like, do you think you know more than the universe? And everybody said no. And then I said, do you think the universe and your angels and guides and ascended masters know more than you? And everybody said yes. I literally said, then why are you not letting them drive the car? Why are you not letting them take the lead? Why are you trying to figure it out like you're smarter? You're not. I mean, you're smart, okay? I'm not saying you're all not smart. We're all smart. But my God, defer to the one who knows more, right? Okay. So rest and rejuvenate. Oh, so what I was saying is the whole point is you want to let the universe take the lead. I got caught up in my little soliloquy. So that means that sometimes you just sit back and you're waiting and you're watching. Like, what do I need to do next? I can't figure this out. I'm surrendering it over. I'm giving it to you. Help me, show me, send me the signs, the synchronicities, the people, the ideas, the etc. so that I can move forward faster, right? So there's a dance between taking action and watching for the signs, and taking action and waiting for the guidance, and taking action. Well, this is rest and rejuvenate. So this says, this card implies that a period of rest, meditation, rejuvenation, and recuperation is in order. It usually comes forward when you're encountering or coming out of a particularly emotional or mentally taxing experience. The number 4 in numerology, which is the number of this card, means foundation. So this is a time to heal, to be with your soul, and to continue moving steadily forward. So remember, and it works perfectly with this card, because like, what do we need to stop doing? Where do we need to heal so that we're not engaging in these negative activities, experiences? What do I need to look at? What do I need to heal? What do I need to take a step back from and shift so that I can move forward? So this card really does go with this. It says, allowing space just for your reflection is both needed and long overdue. Long overdue. Reposing and taking moments for yourself will give you the opportunity to look at a problem or situation instead of being in it. It's a chance to stand back, view your life with clarity and renewed appreciation, and see where changes can be made to create a healthier or stronger foundation, enabling you to take the next step. So if we're engaged in behaviors that are pulling us out of alignment, we're not seeing clearly. We can't solve problems. I say all the time, you cannot solve problems in stress. And if you are engaging in negative behaviors, negative habits, even negative thinking, you're creating stress. You can't find a solution. You can't see the next step that the universe is laying out before you, the pebbles and breadcrumbs that are being dropped, the path that's being lit up. You won't even notice that if you're engaged in that stress and those negative habits. So what this card is saying is, evaluate, what does this card mean to me? Where in my life am I doing things that I shouldn't be doing? Where in my life am I pulling myself out of alignment by my behavior and habits? And then looking at, how can I take a step back and evaluate that and say, okay, how can I start making these changes? What do I need to heal in myself? How can I change my thoughts? What spiritual tools can I use? Who can I get help from to change some of these behaviors? What resources are available to me? And if you don't know, do you know what you do? You ask the universe, send me. I need help in shifting this so that I can be in alignment, so that I can create the life that I desire, or something even more incredible that I'm not thinking of right now. And so send me the people, the resources, the opportunities, the books, the healing modalities, the healers, anybody that might know and guide me in the right direction. Send them to me so that I know the next step I can take forward, so that I can let go of some of these things that are holding me back. And now I can move forward and be more in alignment and help myself shift and help myself move into a better space. That is what this second card is doing. You need to kind of take a step back, look at your life, say, where do I need to change? Where do I need to heal? Pull yourself out of that stress so that you can see the guidance and the answers that are coming through. So this whole reading, these two cards go perfectly together in terms of what is needed to create the life that you're looking for, and to move forward, and to heal in some way, and to create what you want or something better. It is so hard to create positivity. I should say it's so hard. It's almost impossible to create positivity, positive changes, things that you're desiring that are more positive and better than where you are. It is almost impossible to create that from a negative space. And if you are engaging in negative behaviors, if you are allowing people in your life to drain your energy, if you are giving more than you're allowing yourself to receive, if you are stuck in negative thought loops, they're all habits. They're all, and sometimes there's addiction involved in that, where we become addicted to certain substances or ways of living or habits, or, you know, even relationships, right? You can be in a codependent relationship where you know this is not good for me, this is draining me, but I'm still in it. If your energy is being drained, if your energy is taken down into a more negative realm, you are not going to be able to move forward towards something positive, because half of your energy is being zapped. So the moral of the story and the goal of this whole reading is to get you to really start looking at that for yourself and say, what do I need to change? How can I do it? If you don't know how, you don't have to. You're just going to ask the universe to give you the answers. You're going to ask the universe to provide you with the guidance and the answers that you need to start shifting from that, right? And then you're going to watch, you're going to take a step back. You're going to put yourself into a healing mode. You're not going to beat yourself up. You're not going to be mad at yourself for things that you've done in the past, right? You're going to be accepting and loving of yourself and say, now is the time to change. And I've learned from this experience. I've learned what's not working. I've learned that this isn't really truly helping me and making me happy. So now I'm going to shift out of that. And I'm going to shift into another place. And universe, I'm ready. I am open. Send me how I can do this. And that is when the repetitive signs start coming in. You hear the name of a book over and over. You overhear a conversation in Starbucks of somebody who's dealing with the same issue as you and how that person found X, Y, and Z. That is when you start getting the advice coming in, the guidance, the breadcrumbs, the path lighting up from the universe that can help you to shift this first card. And then you go into the healing mode. You go into, now I can align myself better. Now I am cutting out some of that resistance. I am cutting out some of that self-limiting, and now I am more open, and now I am more aware, and now I can move forward faster in the direction that I desire, or in an even better direction that I can't consciously think of right now that the universe is going to send me in. Does that make sense? And again, it can be anything that you know is draining your energy. Anything that you know is draining your energy, is putting you in a state of misalignment. Because if you are misaligned, you are not going to manifest positively. You're not. You're going to manifest, because we're always manifesting, right? Our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs, our habits, our actions, we're manifesting all the time. But if you're continuing to manifest what you don't want, you're not in alignment with what you do. You're not in alignment with that positivity. So that's really the crux of this whole reading and what it's asking you to do. So really, I would say take some time, go into a meditative place and do some journaling. Or call in help before you do the journaling. In my Higher Help Method book, I have the Opening the Channel prayer, which calls in your higher helpers to open up your channel so that you can get information more easily, and ask them a question and start journaling and see what comes through, so that you can start understanding better, how am I limiting myself? How is my behavior, my thoughts, my relationships, my actions? How am I limiting myself? If you can identify even just one thing and start shifting it, your energy shifts and what you bring in shifts. I always tell people you don't have to do everything at once. I don't want you to change your entire life at once, because it's going to become too overwhelming and you're not going to do it, right? You're not going to do it. You're going to say, oh my God, this is too much. And you're going to fall back into the familiar. Just start with one thing that you know, my gosh, this is definitely what the universe was talking about with this reading for me, and I'm going to start finding ways to shift that. If you can do that, you are slowly shifting yourself into alignment. You are slowly shifting yourself out of that stress and into solution energy. And that is going to help you move forward, and that is going to help you manifest faster what you desire, or something better. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if anybody has any questions or comments about that. But I think that that's really a smart reading from the universe to kind of let us know how to move forward, and how to not just move forward, but move forward faster, right? Because if you're still manifesting what you don't want instead of what you do, then there's blocks there. And sometimes the blocks are your beliefs. Sometimes the blocks are your thinking. Sometimes the blocks are draining energy through your habits, through your relationships. There's something that needs to be shifted. So that is really what the universe is talking about with this overall reading. For some reason, my dashboard is not working. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, you guys. Something is weird with my thing. I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, that is the advice from the universe for this week. And again, even if you're seeing this on the replay, thank you for the likes. You guys are the best. Even if you're seeing this on the replay, this is still for you if you come across it, right? The universe doesn't make mistakes. If you came across this for a reason, and not only did you come across it, but you decided to stop and listen to me, there's a reason. There is something you need to get out of this for yourself. And I'm excited that, even when sometimes the universe throws something in our face saying, girl, or guy, you're doing something wrong. You're doing something like, here's something, like, be grateful for it and go, oh, you're right. You're right. I need to pay attention to this. Hi, Sherry. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really needed this today. Good. Listen, the universe knows what we need. The universe knows what we need to hear. One person might be going, oh my God, you're right. I'm constantly in the negative. Another person might be going, oh my gosh, this is definitely about my relationship with so-and-so. Oh my gosh, I need to start protecting and clearing my energy on a regular basis and maybe creating some boundaries. Somebody else might go, oh my gosh, you're right. I'm still soothing myself with food and snacking at night, and this is throwing off my alignment. It could be anything, right? Everybody's going to interpret it differently because everybody has a different situation in their life. So your goal is to start looking at what is it that I need to shift? And if I can just make one change, I am moving closer to what I want. If I can just shift one area of my life, and you do not have to know how to do it right now. Identifying it is the first step. Then you're going to ask the universe for assistance in helping you figure out how to shift it and heal it and clear it. And then you're going to be moving your energy into alignment so you can notice those signs and the information coming through. So I hope this was helpful to everybody, and it helps you in some way and speaks to you in some way, resonates with you in some way. I know the answers that come through when I do these readings are always in the highest good of all who are watching and involved. I know that because that's what I ask for before I do the reading. So that's why I love that it answers questions for you. Oh my gosh, Teresa says, thank you so much. This was actually an answer of a question I asked the universe. I love it. See, the universe uses everyone, including me, to get through to you, including me. Oh my gosh, Tabitha on Instagram says, I need this like you wouldn't believe. Amazing. Thank you. Oh, good. Oh, thanks to Sherry for sending you the invite. Yay. Thank you. Listen, everybody that's here and listening to this is here because they're supposed to hear the message. And I am beyond honored and thrilled to be able to bring it to you. Again, for those of you who are just joining, I used the Psychic Tarot by John Holland today, and you can get his pocket-sized deck that just came out, which is a mini version of it that travels well, and that is now available. It just came out, I want to say maybe last week. So yeah, no, I think it was last week. So thank you all for being here. I'm so glad that this is resonating with some of you that are live with me. If you are on the replay, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. I'm always happy to come on and answer those questions in another weekly spirit boost, because I'm here every Thursday at noon Eastern. So thank you for joining me. As you move into the weekend, I always tell you to do something for yourself, no matter how big, no matter how small, no matter how short or long it takes. Do something for yourself that brings you joy, that boosts your energy, that makes you feel good, because you deserve it, and because it will put you into alignment. It will shift you out of that stress and that negative energy and make you feel good. And when I say do something that brings you joy, seeing the reading that we had, make sure that it's a positive thing that brings you joy this weekend. And really, take this reading with you and see what area of my life is this talking about for me, and how can I shift this? And universe, help me discover how I can start shifting this, because you don't have to figure it out on your own. You don't have to figure anything out on your own. There is such a vast majority of resources, higher resources and tools available to us. We are not alone, and we don't have to do anything on our own. So remember that as you go through the weekend. I thank you so much for all being here with me and hanging out. And I will see you back here next week for another weekly Spirit Boost. Until then, have an amazing and wonderful weekend and beginning of next week. Bye, everyone.